All right, you want to kind of come up here and then we can talk about it?
Yeah. And we'll just sit here and make fun of you.
You can sit there and make fun of me or add ideas, right? Okay. So we're gonna put over here, this is your tax prep is the easiest way to get them in.
It is, or credit repair, yeah.
That would be a different one then. You're gonna wrap them through a different direction. Then these first three, or first
So
five are gonna be different.
Can we ask questions?
Sure.
So just a question on tax prep. So that's mostly seasonal, right?
No, it's all year long. It's all year long. Yeah, so.
Okay, so you try to encourage people to think about their taxes before April 15th.
Well,
Not
personal
really.
taxes or business taxes?
Both, corporate business.
So you're talking quarterly.
That's why it's yearly, it's all year.
Okay,
Yeah.
so because those are minimally quarterly.
You're right, there's payroll
All right, well,
tax.
and-
there's-
okay,
Let's
gotcha.
address that then.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
This machine right here is gonna look different for the person versus the business.
See, and that's the problem.
Build one.
So I'm doing
which
too
one's
much.
better business?
I want to do it all.
Okay, that's fine.
I hear you.
But the marketing starts with one.
I understand.
Right? As you start building these different pieces that come into here,
Right.
you'll see where they can fit both ones. Like if I have a
Okay.
scheduling system,
Okay.
and in fact, half the time I send everyone to the same page because I just don't want to build another one. So I'm like, here, just sign up through my audit. And I think I did that to you too. I was like, just
Right.
pick an hour, sign up, whatever. She knows she's not getting the 73-point audit.
Well, I would definitely say the corporate for sure.
Okay,
corporate
so-
small business. Yeah, definitely.
So we're gonna do biz. So everything, before we even start here, this is why that matters. You need a client avatar, and you need to know the business owner inside and out.
Okay.
You need to know where they get their information as regards to you, where they get information as regards to just business.
Yeah.
What do they read, whether it be John Grisham or Tony Robbins or whomever. Where websites do they go to? Are they on Facebook, Instagram, Google+, LinkedIn? Where do they hang out? What are their objections to your sale? Who is the decision maker? So decision maker can be complicated. Like I have one client who is consulting for IT to like help sort their systems and get them all together. He has to go through the CIO, but apparently CIO, I learned, is the least respected person in the industry, like in the C-suite there. So while he has to enter through the CIO, he has to have the CFO and the CEO on board, and he has to cover the ass of the CIO to make him look good in front of the other two.
Yeah.
So he doesn't think he's going to get fired, or that guy will never get hired.
Right.
So it can be complicated, or it can be super easy, but you need to know your business person and who all the people are in charge really, really, really well before you can build any of this.
In other words, know your customer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Know what you offer on a base level, know how you make them feel before and after, make them understand how you change their average day before and after, and then the status change before and after, right? Then you can address this. So you can't even address that until you cover other foundational pieces, or this will be wrong. It's like a math equation. If you didn't know basic information, like if you had like 5 variables, like you want to have as many variables filled in so that you'll get the right outcome.
Yeah.
Awareness, you have, I can tell you right now, number 1, LinkedIn organic.
I've been doing a lot of Facebook.
I can't spell.
It's okay. We'll get it.
So let me give you that one too.
What do you mean LinkedIn organic?
Means you're not paying for it, technically. So I say organic because it's not a LinkedIn ad. Organic means technically you're not paying, so I can pay for a Facebook ad, right? Or I can post an organic post on my business page. Organic just means inside the system, not paid. However, to leverage that on a big way, you're gonna pay for Sales Navigator at $74 a month. I'll write it down, you don't have to. And then you, a couple of them have leveraged Meet Leonard, which is probably why you're sitting in there, whether you knew it or not. That ability to leverage LinkedIn, because it's business owners.
Right.
If I can send a message or connect to someone on LinkedIn, that actually goes to their inbox. You don't even have to subscribe yet.
Got it. Okay.
That awareness, because lots of people want to put a Facebook post here. If they don't, they're not going to see it organically. It's not Facebook 5 years ago, it's Facebook today when there's only 300 spots Throwing 300 pieces of real estate. 1/6 of them are ads. And the rest are filled with friends. How many friends do you have, Rianne?
On Facebook?
Yeah.
300-400.
Okay, so if there's only 300 spots, 1/6 are ads, and each friend only makes one post a day, some are gonna make none, some are gonna make 5, right? There's now no more room for businesses.
Okay.
That's just a matter of numbers, right? So your Facebook post, honestly, does it matter? It's over here.
You know, the only reason I like it is because when I do the Facebook ads, I can choose.
Well, that's ads. So if you do
I would say
Facebook ads,
I would say business owners or people interested in business.
the
or whatever.
problem with Facebook ads is the targeting is more difficult
Yeah.
and it's more expensive.
Okay.
Whereas if you can at least get them to one of your pages
Mhm.
and use Facebook ads as retargeting.
Okay.
So I would say in between every single one of these, I have Facebook ads as retargeting, but I don't use it as cold.
Okay. So LinkedIn organic is saying it's better.
LinkedIn organic,
Okay.
Google ads, because somebody's actually looking for what you do.
Is that the YouTube or is that just Google?
YouTube, I tend to do is retargeting
Yeah.
at like a 3rd or 4th layer.
Yeah.
You've already done other stuff at YouTube on the back end.
Two videos.
Google ads can be expensive, but you're actually getting a customer who's actively looking for your services.
Yeah, I understand. Oh, that's the top.
Yeah,
where
the
you
top ones,
Google
the paid
something.
ads.
Oh, okay.
So
got
I used to be AdWords. They finally changed their name to Google Ads, which is what I've been calling them for years. So I'm happy
it,
about
got
that.
it. Okay.
This could be speaking, like my handwriting. It could be in-person networking, which is why I think he left. Was he came in here hoping to get clients. It is what it is. One you need to focus on is pick one.
Okay.
But make sure that one makes sense to that one, makes sense to that. Like, make sure where you start makes sense the whole way through.
Got it.
So if you are an organic, what are you going to offer them that's not sales?
Exactly.
So is awareness also my own personal, blogging and Facebook Live?
Yeah, I've done a lot like memes and stuff like that. I try to do like tips, you know.
Tips work.
Yeah.
So tips is not going to, it's going to be, people, if they come to your Facebook page or your LinkedIn, like you might as well get a scheduler,
Yeah.
send them to both,
Yeah.
right? It's going to be more somebody is now researching you. They've become aware of you. And even before giving an email address, they're like, who's this shady ass character?
Right.
And then they're going to go back and say, oh,
Exactly.
those are some nice tips. Don't do a meme.
Uh-huh.
Tips. Unless
Yeah.
it's going to make someone laugh directly
Well,
in your industry, right?
I'm old school. I'm sorry. That's what I meant. Tips, not
Okay.
memes. Yeah.
But they're going to research you like, oh, hey, I saw he was featured here. You know, he showed that he got this blog post. I went and read that blog post, and
Right.
he actually kind of seems like he knows exactly, like he's talking to me. Because that's the nice part about having the avatar, is you can, when you write that blog post, remember that conversation? I was like, how do people actually have a conversation?
Right.
If you wrote a blog post like that, your English teacher would have a coronary, right?
Mhm.
But if he was reading it, it sounds like, oh, it sounds like he's actually talking to me.
Right. Okay.
Those little short
Yeah.
I have a 7,000 word blog post that performs exceptionally well.
Okay.
When it opens, it's and then it starts to get into bigger paragraphs.
Okay.
We've gotten to know each other, and now we can have an in-depth conversation about something stupid like politics.
Okay.
Right? Like you can't get into it without getting to know them, right? And if
Right.
that blog post is only written for that person,
Right.
like you could even narrow it down and say, I want to do tax prep for business owners specifically that are business consultants,
Mhm.
like corporate business consultants. They probably wouldn't do it. Therapist,
Right. Right.
because he probably doesn't have a great tax. That's not their wheelhouse typically, right? And you're like,
Right,
hey, look,
exactly.
dude, I know it. You're over here helping people. You got your dogs. You got your piano.
Right.
Taxes just doesn't rank. Let me help you.
You're right.
Let me write a blog article that is exactly specifically for therapists and life coaches on the different things they need to do to put their financial business life in order.
Exactly.
And then when I go to LinkedIn, I'm only looking up therapists and life coaches, which you can do because I've been doing it the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And their message to them, your connect message and your actual message if you're already connected.
Right.
I wrote a blog about how therapists can put their financial business life in order Can you give me some tips?
And
I'd
you-
love to quote you.
And you need premium to do that, right?
No, you need premium to leverage it the way I do.
Oh,
You can do 25 a day connections,
yeah.
up to 500 before they stop. They say, hey, you can't do it for another month.
Okay.
If I send 200 connections a day, up to 500 messages a day, then they're gonna yell at you and tell you to pay. That's that $74 a month I told you. They're gonna, at
Yeah,
that point, they're
'cause-
gonna yell at you.
Because I was trying to pinpoint people in the medical industry, and I wasn't able to do it with premium. Maybe it's because I don't know enough.
Then that, you just don't how to use it. And I would say Sales Navigator is only $10 more,
Yeah.
and it makes it a lot
Yeah,
easier to
so Go with
pinpoint.
Sales Navigator because you can, it's a much better search utility.
The other thing
Right.
with Sales Navigator is kind of like the equivalent of the feed,
Mm-hmm.
almost like Twitter where you have a separate list. You can take that feed and say only my sales prospects. So now instead of seeing everyone's post, you only see their post.
Oh, okay.
And you can like and thoughtfully comment on only them without
Right.
having to surf
Wow.
through the other 1,000,
That is nice.
right?
Yeah.
So Sales Navigator for the extra $10 is worth it. You close one client, it covers it, right?
Right.
But that's that blog post. Write a blog post exactly how a therapist life coach can put their financial house in order. Go back to LinkedIn, connect with every life coach in Texas, start with Dallas, work your way out, right? And that way you can customize the message.
Gotcha.
Hey, we're connecting with, I wrote an in-depth blog post about blah, 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 blah. I thought you would be interested.
Cool.
Hey, I'm doing a speaking engagement here on my stage next Monday. Would you like to show up? It's free, it's all information, no pitch. I'd love to meet you and we'll talk about how we can do this.
Yeah.
So now you've done both, you've leveraged, you have an event to invite them to, you have something they can read.
Mhm.
As soon as they hit that, they'll get a Facebook ad. As soon as they
Right.
show up, or let's say they show up and you're still engaging them, because you have a more expensive product. It's a business owner. Business owners need more love. It's not like a consumer, right? So let's say you speak, and at the end of the speak, you've done a wonderful job. You provided lots of value. If you'd like to get my slides and that template I talked about,
Mhm.
go here and get
There you go.
template and slides.
Yeah.
Now they're going to give you your email so fast, your head is going to spin because you're not going to deliver it on the next page.
Right.
On the next page, that thank you page, it's going to give you instructions that says, hey, it's coming direct to your email. So now if they put a fake email in, they're going to panic. They're going to go backspace, put a good email in,
Okay.
and they're going to come back because they really want that template and those slides to copy it.
Of course.
Because they don't want to hire you, they're going to try to do it themselves first.
Right. Right.
On that thank you page, we'd love to sit down for 1 hour and go over the possibility, something specific, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That now we're out of my wheelhouse. I have no idea what you would do.
Yeah.
But it might be sit down and like go through and do a quick audit. Or
Yeah.
what would you do that's something either, cause I don't,
First thing I do is go through the financials. Give me those bank statements. Yeah.
and call it something, give it a name,
I call it financial analysis. Is what I call it. But
give it a better name. That sounds way too
it's not
complicated.
in marketing. I have no clue what they
Yeah.
call it.
That's not necessarily marketing. It's something like what is the actual outcome after they sit down for that 1 hour?
To figure out how to best structure your money.
Structure it.
That's what I call it.
Path to success.
Okay, see? That's
a little bit-
marketing.
Make your money grow.
See? That's
Monetary
marketing.
construction.
See?
kind of thing.
In my mind,
I almost
all
like
I'm doing,
that.
in my mind, all I'm doing is I'm figuring out where your money's coming from, where is it going, how do we set up your banking.
Brainstorm.
you know,
like
Financial
30?
roadmap, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Put the money up.
I like financial roadmap.
See, I have
financial
something I
roadmap.
call-
Because you know why I like
I
that?
do
I've
something
seen
called
that before.
social handles that I
Okay.
help people with. Social, it's my own thing.
Yeah.
But essentially, it's a precursor to social skills.
It
And I
is,
create
which I
social
like.
handles, but and it helps people with that. So it has a
Yeah.
touch of drama, I think, is what I heard over here. But it's still a very practical, very real thing.
Yeah.
I'm fighting with my person who's building my webpage because she says it's all about SEO or SAO or whatever it is.
Well,
And
that's
I'm going,
important.
sorry, I want social handles because it helps people get around where you can lock arms with.
It's true.
So I like the idea. Come up with
The
your own
problem
little jargon.
is there's a lot to layer, right? I don't focus when I build the initial sites. I don't worry about SEO at all because SEO is a 6 to 12 month process.
True.
It's got 4 stages now.
Jeez.
Only one aspect is the tags, the meta tagging that you're using. So when we build the different pages, yes, we meta tag them. Yes, we add alt tags. We add the headers and the subheaders that matter. But it's not the priority because it's the least. this is not gonna work until you have like a great blogging system. Content is where it's really gonna happen. It has to be long form content. Mine's 7,000 words. SEO was like quadrupled in 1 week. Now imagine if you had 4 of those, 5 of those with another 10 supporting each one. That's SEO now. And then you
Right.
have a Facebook link, like a social media scheduler, blasting all that on a regular basis.
Yes, big
That's
deal.
SEO. I would never build SEO until the rest of this was built, and I would layer SEO.
That makes sense.
Because the rest of it, I don't need SEO to go and get LinkedIn today.
Nope.
I don't need SEO to go make a phone call list of potential clients and cold call them today.
That's what I think.
SEO is important.
Yes.
It's something I would say, write an article once a week, or pay someone to write an article once a week, and then pay someone to add it to a Facebook blaster to put it out there, and that adds your content, blah, 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 blah. Do your Facebook Lives, hand it off to someone to turn it into an article. That's SEO today.
Makes sense.
The meta, Google figured out, because we would go out and the marketers would go get 50,000 fake websites. We'd have bots write them all, and you would do a Google search, like I want to learn about how to write a marketing strategy. And you would land on a blog site that had no design whatsoever. It's obviously written about a bot because the words don't even make sense. It's just words, no sentence structure whatsoever. That made the user mad. If the user doesn't get good material when they go to Google, then they're going to stop going to Google. And so Google said, how do we solve that? Well, guess what? Facebook will only let you have 1 profile. You might get away with 2, you'll never get away with 6 from the same IP.
Yeah.
So since Facebook regulates, Twitter is going back now and stripping away all the fake profiles and making it more like Facebook. LinkedIn does not let you have a ton of profiles. Since social media was the most restrictive, they said, screw you. Instead of all the links back, we're gonna take social media signals. So again, screw the SEO. Build the system first, come back over and layer SEO.
Like it. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Makes sense.
There's my vent for the day.
I'm
Feel
with
better?
you. I'm with you.
I get the same questions, right? So do all that, offer the template, just build one, thank you page, come up with a clever name, something that means something, and then go through and what does somebody actually get out of that? It doesn't matter what you think they get out of it, it's what they actually get out of that. So like on my landing page, one of the strips on there is like, as a business owner, imagine actually taking a whole 1 week vacation. Because what business owners don't get vacations?
Right, I hear you.
They look at all the employees and like, oh, you get 2 weeks of paid vacation? Lucky you.
Yeah, not me.
Oh, you worked 40 hours? I remember my first internship.
Go work for a consulting firm. You don't do
Like 40 hours, like, that's cute.
24/7.
Once they do that, either at that meeting, in a series of emails, deliverable, premiums, like throwing a t-shirt, I don't know, whatever it is they want, bring Christmas. Can't spell still. Make them happy. Give them a deliverable. Like I have one real estate client that, they will actually do free home comparisons before someone's actually, because if somebody is selling their home, they're also buying a home usually, right? And they can have both. That's 6% now, right? No realtor wants to give free comps. So they're like, no, we're going to give free comps. Do they just deliver the printout that their machine does and say, here you go? No.
You gotta really dig in.
They put it in a beautiful format with all the education, all the success stories, all the tips. It's 52 pages, beautifully printed, sent in a beautiful box with a thing that automatically plays a video laid on top. So when you open the box, this video just naturally starts playing. That's the Christmas they bring. But when you're in a neighborhood where no home sells under $500,000, $600,000 and your commission is fat, the $200 it takes to send that is nothing.
Yeah.
So when you start to learn, because this is what you do, this is what my tax lady's yelling at me for, when you know how much you can make from a client in total revenue and you know how much it costs to take care of all that client, then you know exactly how much you can spend to acquire that client, to excite that client, right? So then they can look at the numbers and say, I'm going to make $6,000 on this side. There's a 50% chance I'm going to make $6,000 on this side. That's $200.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a big deal. So this is hard. I can't necessarily walk you through this section because this is going to
No,
depend.
I mean, I have a good idea.
In your meeting,
It's hard though.
structure it out.
Right.
Like that's probably a whole other conversation. Like you're going to want to, like we do a 3-question close that I kind of mentioned with him. What's the 50,000 overview of you and your business?
Okay.
That's great. Cool. What are your goals?
Right.
Flip the frame. Congratulations, you passed my first test.
Okay.
What? Tell the guy running a $50 million company, congratulations, you passed my first test.
Right.
He'll be like, excuse me?
Yeah.
What did you just say?
Mhm.
He's like, well, we only work with clients who actually have their goal in mind, because if you don't know your goal, then how am I supposed to help you achieve it?
Heard that before. Yeah.
Yeah, and if I asked you a few more questions, sure. At this point, they've gotten to talk all about themselves. Why haven't you gotten there?
Mhm.
And they're either going to blame it on another marketer for me, they're going to blame it on this, they're going to blame it that, or they're just going to look at themselves and they're going to be like, look,
Yeah.
I just don't have the time. This lady kept on trying to tell me to do SEO. I did SEO, it didn't work. So, I stopped doing that and I did this, and then I can't write all this and I can't do this and tend to my clients.
Yeah.
Flip the frame again. Congratulations. Sorry about that, but you just passed my second test.
Right.
What? You didn't blame it on everyone else. You took personal responsibility. The other ones I don't want to work with anyway.
Right.
You can just flip those right out. Blamed your other marketer? Not
Probably.
mine. I've seen this, how this works out before.
Yep.
Flip the frame. So that's how we do it. We let them talk a little about themselves. We'll send them home with deliverables that they can't match. I'll tell them the whole process.
Right. Right.
A lot of consultants are like, I don't want to tell them my process. Good luck doing it yourself.
Yeah. See, that's what I do too. Yeah.
I can give you my
Yeah.
process all day long. You're going to look at it and go like,
Yep. If you want to do the work,
where do I
have at it.
start, right?
Yeah.
Christmas, give them something home, send them with some candy, send them a box, whatever. Send them with some long emails to keep them going, and as soon as they opt out to their client,
Right.
then ask for the sell.
Gotcha.
You've already provided Christmas. It's like the dating. You met him at a bar, you started talking, you bought him a drink, maybe a few others, asked for her phone number, called her,
Yeah.
took her out on a nice dinner, a couple dinners. It's not too much to ask for something else, right?
Yeah.
Fair enough?
I already know what I'm gonna do. That's cool.
Tax prep, right?
Yeah.
What else can you offer? What's the next stage? You've tax prep, you got their house in order.
Right. So now we're talking about credit. We're talking about
Bookkeeping?
Yeah.
You get in their books,
Yep.
shit, your credit's bad, or worse, you have no credit.
Yep.
Don't ask me how that works, that no credit's worse than bad credit, whatever.
There's investment. There's
Investment.
estate planning. Yeah.
That might be a lot for you to take on. That seems like a lot of,
Well, like I said, the game plan is to cover everything from A to Z. I want to be your money man.
okay.
Anything concerning your money, I want to be the one that does it.
And this might be a different word depending on what you're at. You deal with business owners.
I have. Yeah.
There's a lot of people who like business owners.
Yeah.
Like we're in marketing, we're non-compete, right?
Right.
What if you gave me 20% for everyone I sent you, and now I gave you 20 for everyone you sent to
That's
me?
right. That's how it works.
You just made more money, and you didn't have to do any additional work.
That's it.
And you got a cheerleader over here to send you more people to lower ad cost here.
Exactly.
So at the top end, like you're like, oh, I've been emailing, they're already a good client, I have them all listed. Now you have their ear, you can send them recommendations on everybody else.
Yeah. Of course.
That's how you make more money.
That's right.
This is all the money area.
Yeah.
New clients, or purchase at one time, come back again. Failure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Person, problem, mentor, path. And on.
Failure.
What is success? Rayanne, what am I missing from StoryBrand?
I was just gonna pull that
A
up.
client has a problem, meets a mentor who shows them a journey to avoid. Oh, I got it.
Your
Action.
action.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Alright, ignore that. That doesn't belong
Before
here.
success. Before.
Ignore that section for a second. I'll come back to it.
Yeah, you
This
gotta
is
take action
application.
before you
You're
get
just
success.
asking for the review.
Right.
Whatever it takes to get the review.
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of limitations in your business. The only thing you're competing against is the terms and conditions of each person or
Right.
each platform. Yelp, who I dropped my partnership with, by the way.
You did?
Yeah.
Mm.
I keep getting
Zero.
called.
Zero revenue with all that ad spend for our clients. Zero revenue left. Anyways, Yelp, you are not allowed to ask for the review.
Yeah. I know.
Facebook you can, Google Plus you can, LinkedIn you can. So just focus on the ones you can and provide Yelp as an option.
Yeah.
Ask for feedback if you want to, but just if you know they've been good, this might be by hand, non-automated, whatever.
Yeah.
Ask them.
I don't even think I can have a profile on Yelp without a bona fide review. Can I?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can.
You can. You can set yourself.
Yeah.
up
And they'll
without-
start calling
with
you.
Zero review.
Oh,
They have like the
be
most
prepared.
hardcore salespeople ever.
Well, I mean, I do have
And they're-
one. Well, anyway.
Anyways, part of that goes back to SEO. It's a way to have a link back from Yelp, which is a big website.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It's something, right? And then this is literally asking them to come back and be a referral partner.
Right.
So you can straight up pay people. You're a tax preparer. You don't have any
I do.
limitations on that.
Oh, yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
if you refer a client to me, again, you know your budget.
Yeah.
How much do I have to spend a
Put
client?
money in your pocket.
You bring someone to me, I'll give you $100.
Mhm.
Straight up $100. If there's there's all these other tax preparers,
Mhm.
and they're like, oh yeah, I'd love for you to refer me, and you're like, I'll give you $100.
Mhm.
And if they got a list of 4, and they're like, who am I going to send? The one
Oh,
who's
yeah.
going to give me $100.
That's it. That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
Send them something in the mail.
Okay.
7 times is how many times you have to thank somebody before they feel thanked.
Okay.
Thank them in person.
Right.
Thank them by email. Thank them by text message. Thank them on Facebook. Thank them on LinkedIn. Thank them, thank them, thank them, thank them, thank them, thank them, thank them.
Touching.
And then thank them
Touching.
again.
Yeah. Okay.
Before they what?
Before they feel thanked.
Oh.
Yeah.
Something simple, right? That was in junior league. We learned that's how many times we had to thank someone who gave us money before they actually feel appreciated
But that's what it's about. Though. It's about touching. You know, and that communication.
appropriately.
Yeah. Of course.
Thank
Very-
you.
Yeah,
The
thank
very definition of sexual assault is skipping 2 of these steps in the human-to-human process.
True.
Whether you're over here or over here, it's
Right.
skipping 2 steps.
Right.
So don't skip steps. If everyone else is going from here to here and they're skipping 4 steps,
Yeah.
that's why you feel assaulted by salespeople when they show up at a meeting and they're like, buy my stuff. And you're like,
That's right.
I just met you and you were crazy.
Yeah. That's true. Very true. You want to form a
Right?
relationship.
Like, I don't even want to like be abrasive because I'm afraid you'll get more scary if I take all that and then do that. Once you've got LinkedIn going, you've got landing pages, you've got a core blog post, you've got all this built, you can start creating more content. You can create an email series to go out there using that content. You can add Google ads, you can add more speaking prospects. You can start layering and layering and layering and refining the process, building the process out in the CRM, making sure you have different Facebook. The problem with the Facebook ads is this is a minimum of $5 a day, $5 a day, $5 a day, $5 a day, $5 a day. So every single one has a minimum budget. You may never need $5 if you have a small one, but as you scale, you will.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter as you scale
Okay.
because you have $5 a day on each section is no big deal. If you're spending $40 a day on Facebook, but you're making $100 a day covering stuff.
And you're suggesting that I only target my email list on Facebook. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Okay.
Just like Facebook ads is over here,
Mm-hmm.
at this point, CRM, you can have emails going out between all these, forgot letters, whatever. You can have your list circulating as soon as you get her phone number over here.
Right.
That doesn't help you over here.
Right.
You can take your existing ads or your existing list on Facebook now and add Facebook ads here. That's not terrible
Okay.
because they're already familiar.
Yeah.
But then you might just drive them straight to here or drive them straight to an event to get to this point. Again, test it, right?
All right.
But Facebook over here is going to be expensive for you and for business.
Yeah. Do you ever suggest doing like location based ads on social media?
If you only serve a certain location.
Well, I don't, but
Like, if
I
I'm
figure
calling an event-
trying to advertise the entire country, it's kind of in my mind anyway.
So, okay, and then that comes back down to your strategy. So if your strategy is to only target life coach therapists,
Mm-hmm.
you may not have enough to advertise in just the DFW area. You
Right.
might have enough to advertise to just the Texas area, and that will make somebody feel, because somebody in a business might want to actually work with you in person.
Mm-hmm.
And once you get that Dallas area down and you're dominating in Dallas, then expand.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is there's only so many life coaches, and you want to get the most out of this funnel you're building.
Mm-hmm.
So expand to Texas if you can work with them remotely or travel or
Right.
LinkedIn. You can target like only DFW And you can focus on, I'm just going to target DFW. Okay, now I'm expanding. I'm going to do Houston. My message is going to say Houston.
Okay.
Maybe you plan to be in Houston a couple days to meet people or something of that nature, right?
Okay.
You can't, again, to do Facebook ads up front is hard for B2B. It's different. Like, I can get B2B because people are marketing to me as a marketer, and it's considered normal. But I can also, I positively know on the back end how much that ad cost them is really expensive to reach me. I know the audiences they're getting me through,
Right.
and those are expensive audiences. Whereas if you can get them somewhere else, you can pixel, can't spell, your blog post. And if they hit your blog post, you don't need their email to get that Facebook ad. So you can start with one blanket Facebook ad. They just, 180 days, anyone who hits anything on my, my domain
Right.
is going to get a general ad of me talking, or this ad, I would say talking, get them to know your face, get them to know you. I've seen all sorts of different ones and different ad strategies. The more you can narrow it down is usually the better, because the conversation you can have is more human the more you can narrow it down.
Okay.
Like, I've even gotten ads that I could tell were specifically meant for men. I'm like, how the hell did I get this? I don't need the girl and her big boobies up in my face.
Right.
I'm being
I
serious.
don't either. No, I totally get
You
it.
Demi did that. It's got like a girl walking up and she's got big booty and big boobs talking about business courses. And all the comments are men, and I'm like, why am I seeing this?
Here's
Like, you
what I
couldn't
think.
turn that off?
Here's what I think though. I think that women get those ads no matter what. I think they only target men, and you women are just.
No, there's
part
a
of
setting.
it.
They know I'm a female. Facebook knows. That's an easy setting.
That's my point. But
They
you
just
still
didn't
get
turn off
those
the targeting.
ads.
Either that, or they got all
So
the
you don't
men's
feel
comments.
money wasted.
I don't know. They might, because it's a business class, right? Maybe they thought they would try it. They had like 103 comments from all the men going, I'm like, gross. Like, people can see who's commenting.
Yeah, like I've always.
I just think they
realize
just did
that.
it. I can tell like certain,
Says a lot about them.
let's say, what was one of the
Do you
examples?
get those kind of ads though?
Yes.
See?
It was somebody
I
who was a
don't.
very liberal.
Yes, you do.
It was a very
your neighbor.
liberally minded blog post, and the first person they sent it out to, you could tell it was an ad structure. They sent it out to followers of Fox News and alt-right,
Yeah.
even though it was liberal and it was something like race, like some kind of racism or something, and they sent it to the wrong audience first on purpose to get negative comments,
Right.
because then when they turn around and send it to their audience,
They'll be.
they are outraged.
Yeah.
And I could tell, because when I went through and I saw the negative comments, it wasn't just like someone who's Republically minded. I clicked on this dude's picture and it was straight up like Nazi stuff tattooed on his arms. I'm like,
That's funny.
there's no way he randomly landed on that.
Yeah.
You purposely sent it to like an alt-right crowd and then sent it to your crowd.
Huh.
So because
Interesting.
when you get the reactions, your ad cost goes down.
Mhm. That's right.
And you get more boosted up to more people.
That's right.
So by driving, if you can find something controversial
All news is good news.
and send it to the other side first and then to your side,
Right. Or no, it's all publicity, good publicity.
it's all good publicity,
That's
bad
an even
publicity.
plan.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that we sent, it's out there on that wall over there, is find an evil. Who's the good guy, who's the bad guy?
Right.
Like, it could be do-it-yourselfers, but the guy who's doing it by themselves.
Yeah.
Like, if you're targeting him specifically, who's the bad guy in finance?
Yeah. It's always the IRS. Always.
That's all.
To me.
Always. I've trolled on
The
accident,
man,
you know?
right?
Yeah, exactly.
But then, who can you troll to speak for the IRS, and
Yeah.
then troll the other way? Like,
Right.
I have the #1 rated review on Tony Robbins because it's a 2-star, so it's not 1 or 5,
Right.
and somebody trolled it. I had nothing better one day though to troll the trollers.
Mhm.
I mean, literally troll the trollers to the
yeah.
point where I was like, dude, do you not know how this works? Like, every time you comment on my post goes up.
That's
So
right.
people ask me, they're like, my clients are like, these people are trolling me on their YouTube. They're saying such mean things. I was like, troll the trolls.
That's right. Have
Troll
fun
'em.
with it. That's right.
Get other people to troll. Get your friends on there to troll.
Yeah.
It just increases your,
That's all it does.
Bad
Your
is
visibility.
fine.
Yeah.
and as long as they're on the bad, like they're the bad guy,
Mhm.
and you're the good guy,
Mhm.
doesn't matter if they're doing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if you talk about politics left and right,
Mhm.
If someone is blue, they're blue. If someone's red, there's red. There's nothing that the other person can say to make them cross the line.
Not at all.
And in fact, if they see the other comment, they don't see it as a negative review or negative on that company. They just see it as, that's the other team. We are team red, you are team blue, and
Right.
nothing you say is right. So I'm going to ignore you and focus and only see what I want to see anyway.
Yeah.
Do that to your business.
Right.
Don't use politics.
You know, it's hard. It's hard. Yeah.
Don't use politics,
Yeah.
religion, unless religion is wrapped in your business. But
Right.
find, like, if the bad guy's the IRS, wrap it all up in there.
Mm-hmm.
If your particular client is already anti-IRS,
Right.
troll the IRS.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Any other questions?
No,
this
no,
is
it's
not
good.
easy.
No,
I
not at
understand
all.
that's not easy.
Not at all. Not
But-
at all.
It does work.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. It makes sense. I like it.
So can a bad guy be a thing like an addiction and such? Or do you have to personify it into a people group or into a person? Or, as a therapist, I don't want to go after people in so much I want to go after behaviors or belief systems.
You can go after drug companies.
I understand.
You can. That is an
My
angle.
first thought.
I think
I took your space here.
Oh, you're
You're
okay,
fine.
woman.
going after, like, let's say drug companies is easy because